Welcome everybody to Build Fly Go. This is our arrival video into Rio, the one we've all been waiting for. So we fueled up in Juiz de Fora. There's a little flying club on the airport on a hill. You might have noticed in the previous video the sort of pretty incredible approach to the end of the runway there. Rather terrifying, to be honest, for the first time. The side of the hill there was just, yeah. But here we go. It was pretty good, pretty cheap, reasonably priced fuel, and the landing fee was only 50 reais, the local money, which is about $12, $11, which is very, very reasonable. So we're happy we stopped here. And we take off, and we had filed a flight plan to the Rio Approach people and basically requested the scenic tour. Rio Approach has been incredibly helpful and incredibly nice to us. And we got contacted by one of the controllers early on, and he said that if we needed anything, we could just message him and send him a WhatsApp message, and he would help us out and make sure everything turned out okay. And I sent him a quick message after we had filed and said, "Hey, we're leaving. We'll be entering your airspace soon." And he replied with, "Here are all the frequencies you're going to need, and here's a discrete transponder code for your flight, which is uncommon for VFR flights out there." He just gave it to us early, so they keep track of us. And he asked if we just wanted to go direct to basically just through all the airspaces and direct to the flying club that we're going to be staying at. And was pretty surprised when we said, no, we want the scenic tour. We want to use the visual corridors, and we're going to start on the very end of the visual corridor and go all the way down the sort of the beachfronts, and before we get to the sort of the last exit on that visual corridor to go to the flying club. So very cool. So we went direct to Farol, which is the entry for, I believe, the Bravo corridor. If you zoom in, you can see it on our screens. We have the visual charts up on the screen right now. And it was just fantastic, as you'll see up ahead. So we've got a few clouds that we're seeing. I believe here we're descending through the clouds. We just went over Teresópolis, which is a country town that I went to a few times as a kid. And oh my gosh, here's the water. The Maricá airport is just to our right, I believe. And we're turning to enter the corridor. This is just a visual corridor. And so basically for the entire route, you're going to see beaches on your right. There's quite a few different beaches because we're doing basically the whole visual corridor for Rio that follows the coastline. It was fairly cloudy, as you can see, and the clouds are pretty low. We are at 1300 AGL right now, 1300 above the ocean, and the clouds are just above us. So pretty low clouds. We did our best to stay out of them there, and definitely managed to stay VFR. You may see a helicopter or two pass us by, things like that. We're just sort of maneuvering to stay inside the corridors. They're not straight, they curve a little bit. And you'll see that we're going to start turning towards towards the land, taking a right turn pretty soon here. We're coming up to the end of that corridor, and we're going to turn inbound. At this point, the controller that we had talked to on the phone came on the radio and just gave us detailed instructions on what we needed to do to get in there. It's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely phenomenal. We turn inbound, and we entered the airspace for the military airbase that's very close to the flying club that we're staying at. And they have an agreement that the tower for there handles some of the traffic. As soon as you take off and leave the pattern, the tower takes over. So here we are, turning inbound. We're going direct to the airport at this point, or direct-ish to the airport at this point, descending, talking to the tower, and the tower says, descend 500 AGL. I was like, 500? The pattern altitude is 500? Okay. So we fly we flew over the airport and we did a touch and go here. It was pretty gusty. It's a gusty crosswind and it's about a 2,000-foot runway, heavy airplane. So we did a touch and go for the first one and then made the turn off. And here we are. We finally arrived. Very happy to be here. And we're just going to relax for a couple of days and plan our return, say hello to a bunch of people, plan our return, and then start heading back to the US. Please continue to follow along. Many more videos to come.